The Kremlin's practice of sending foreigners to the war against Ukraine has been well known since the beginning of the full-scale invasion. As a rule, these units suffer heavy losses because they are not properly equipped and are used primarily in assault operations, Bloomberg writes. They are mostly migrants who have come to Russia in search of work, as well as students. In exchange for a visa, they are forced to sign contracts with the Russian army. At the same time, Moscow is also actively conducting a recruitment campaign abroad, mainly in African countries.
The aggressor state of Russia has significantly stepped up its campaign to recruit foreign mercenaries for the war against Ukraine by hiring people in Central Africa, particularly in Rwanda, Burundi, Congo and Uganda. The mercenaries are being lured with a starting cash payment of $2,000 for signing a contract, a monthly allowance of $2,200, medical insurance and a Russian passport for the soldier and his family members, Main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ukrainian Defense Ministry on Telegram.
A special unit of the Ministry of Defense of the Federation is in charge of recruitment abroad. Why have African countries become the main supplies of manpower for the Russian army? The answer is obvious, experts believe.
These are all countries with a very weak power structure, countries where the integrity and full control of the situation is broken, which leads to the Russian presence in Africa, among other things. We must understand that these are countries with a critical lack of work for young people, so they often become mercenaries and have to flee to more developed countries and participate in some criminal activities. These are countries that do not have the power to quickly stop all this.
However, Asian states are also of interest to Russian recruiters. Earlier, the Nepalese government said that they were aware of at least 400 citizens of the country who had been recruited by the Russian army.
The fleeing of mercenaries from Nepal assigned to military unit 29328 of the armed forces of the Russian Federation was caused by huge losses in meat assaults, brutal treatment by Moscow field commanders, including extrajudicial executions for refusing to obey orders to go to deadly assaults, as well as non-payment of promised money. Main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ukrainian Defense Ministry on Telegram.
According to UK intelligence, the Russian Federation deployed African Corps units alongside regular Russian troops and Storm Z units during the offensive in Vovchansk-Kharkiv region. African Corps was created by Russian Defense Ministry in December 2023. It has more than 2,000 soldiers and officers of regular troops and also mercenaries, many of whom served in the PMC Wagner. The Corps units were probably redeployed from Africa in April 2024.
Russia is recruiting African citizens to participate in the war against Ukraine, specifically understanding that they are for the war. On the other hand, this Russian African Corps, the PMC in Africa, they are recruiting people for their own needs.
Due to the war of aggression against Ukraine, Russia is facing an acute labor shortage. In November 2023, Russian Deputy Prime Minister said that the country would need at least 2 million migrant workers by 2030. However, according to experts' calculations, this figure can be multiplied by 2. In this regard, the Kremlin is ready to accept labor migrants from Afghanistan. There are already relevant agreements between the states. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Yulia Hranovska, UATV News.